Hi everyone, myself Pankaj and welcome to the next video of solving most important DSA interview questions. So in today's video, we are again going to solve another tree problem. So name of the problem is validate binary search tree. So in this problem, you will be given with a root of a binary tree and we have to determine that if it is a valid binary search tree or not. So according to the given condition, a valid BST is defined as the left subtree of a node contains only nodes with keys less than the node's key, right? The right subtree of a node contains only the nodes with key greater than the node's key. Both left and right subtree must also be binary subtree. So what it's telling you that anything which is, let's say you are considering node 2 here, and so anything any node which is left of this node 2 should have lesser value than 2, and anything which is on the right of this node 2 should have a greater value than 2, right? So you basically have to check this condition, right? So let's understand this question first. So here you can see that let's say this is a binary tree and you have to check that whether it is a valid binary tree or not according to the question. So when we are considering this node 25, every node that is left of this 25 should have lesser value than 25, and every node which is right of this 25 should have a value greater than 25, right? So how you will solve this question? So basically, I will use a two approach to solve this question. The first approach is I will be using in order traversal, and in the second approach, it will be more optimized approach, right? So let's see the first approach. I think that you all know that what is in order, pre-order, or post-order traversal. So if you don't know about it, so let's first uh, see what is in order traversal. So I'm not going to tell about pre-order and post-order traversal. So because data those two are not required in this problem. So let's talk about in order traversal, right? So in order traversal, okay. In order traversal is basically the traversal of nodes in a manner L and R. So what does it mean? That basically you will first go to the left of each node until you find a null value. So for example, let's say you started traversing this tree from node 25. So first of all, for this node we got L, so we will go to left of this 25, right? Then we came to node 10. So for each node we will apply LNR. So for node 10 we again got L first, right? So we go to 5. So for node 5, since it is a new node, we again go to left of it, right? And in this case we found that there is null towards its left. So what we will do, we will return back to node 5. And when we return back to the node 5, we saw that we already had traversed L for it. Now there is a node. Node is basically means you have to print it out. So now for this node we are at n, right? So what we will do, we will basically print 5 here, right? So let's call 5 here, right? Now you completed n for 5, then you will go to R for 5, right? Right. So you will go to right here. Again you found that nothing is there, basically null. So you will return here, right? You will return. So LNR traversal for this node is completed. Now you will go back to 10. So when you go back to 10, you had already traversed for left of it, right? Now you come to n for this 10. So for n, we will print it out. So we will print it out here 10 here, right? Now we completed n for 10. Now you will go to right of 10, right? So when we came to new node, we will again go to left of it. Again we encounter new node, we will again go to left of it, right? So we encountered null, so we returned from here. So for node 11, we come to n. So basically we will have to print it out. Uh, so we have to basically print it out 11. So again we will go back to 15. So L is already traversed for 15. So we came to n for 15. So we printed out 15 here, right? Then we again go back to 25. So 25 will be printed here. Again we go to right of 25 to 29. So For 29, after we will go back to left of it, so we will encounter 26, so we will print it out here. When we go back to 29, we will print out 29, then we will at the end print 48 here. So this is the in order traversal of this binary tree. So basically what you have to do, you can notice here is that the in order traversal of this node is sorted here, right? So basically you can notice out here is that the in order traversal of this tree is sorted, right? 5, 10, 11, 15, 25, 26, 29, 48. So it is sorted, right? So we will use this property of in order traversal to check that whether this binary tree is valid or not according to the given condition, right? Now, the given condition was that everything to the right of this 25 will be lesser and everything to the right of it should be greater, right? So now this condition is must satisfied by all of the node present here, right? So everything to the left of this 5 should be lesser than 5 and everything to the right of this 5 should be greater than 5. So you can see here in this in order traversal, everything to the left of it, so basically there is nothing, so we will not consider it out, but everything to the right of this 5 is greater than 5, right? Again, when you come to 5, everything to the left of it is smaller. So you can see here in this in order traversal, everything to the left of 10 is smaller, that is 5 is smaller, and everything to the right of this node 10 should be greater. So you can see here in this in order traversal, everything to the right of this 10 is greater. Similarly for this 29, everything to the left of it will be smaller and everything to the right of it will be greater. So you can see here to the left of this 29 everything is smaller and to the right of it is everything is greater. So this is the concept that we are going to use for this uh, solving this problem using this approach, using in order traversal. So what we will do, we will first find the in order traversal of a given tree, right? Given BST, right? And we will check whether its in order traversal is sorted or not. If it is sorted, it means that this binary tree is satisfying the given condition of this problem. So it will be a valid binary tree. Otherwise, it will be not. So basically, we will first find in order traversal of this binary tree and check whether this in order that the sequence we are getting is sorted or not. If it is not sorted, it means it is not a valid binary tree, right? So let's come to the solution here. First of all, we will create a vector of type int answer vector, right, to store the in order traversal. Now, what we will do, we will call a function in order, which we will do in order traversal, right? So let's pass it out. Now, let's create that function basically of type vector. So basically, we will use void here because we are not returning anything, right? Okay, we will have to pass out answer here, right? Let's pass this root and let's pass this ins vector here. So you will have to pass it out as ampersand because we are actually changing the value inside the answer, right? So first of all, the condition will be what we had seen that for in order traversal, that root is null. If root is null, so what you will do, you will basically return, right? You don't have to do anything, you basically have to return, right? Now you will call for in order, recursive call in order for root left, right? And I had told you there that first of all we will go to left of each node, and if we encounter null we will return, right? So when we will return back to this node, we will have to print it out. So for printing out, or you can say we can store it in our answer vector, right? Push back what we have to push. So basically we have to push root dot val right here. And again, when you printed out, so printed out 5 here. So after that, we will have to go to right of it. So we will again call our in order, a recursive call for root right. So at the end, our answer variable will answer vector will store the in order traversal, right? So this answer will store the in order traversal. So we basically have to check whether it is sorted or not. So you can use STL function in C++ that is sorted. So it will basically return true if the vector is sorted, or it will return false if it is not sorted, right? So basically you have to pass it as here, right? So if it is sorted, so it will be true, otherwise it will be false. So basically we have to return that value, either it is true or false. So let's try to run this code. Okay, we are getting too few arguments. Okay, so we here we have to pass answer also, since we are calling it out here. So you can see here our public test cases are passing. Now let's try to submit this out. Okay, so here we are actually for this test case 222, we are getting true as output. According to our logic, it's basically right, but the expected answer is false. Why? Because we have to make a condition here is that all the values to the left of this 25 should be lesser, not equal to, right? So here, and also to the right, it should be greater, not equal to. So here we are doing a mistake. So basically this STL function will return true even if the values are equal, right? So basically we will have to manually check it out. Here is that, first of all, let's create a boolean flag here, right? And we will traverse that answer vector for int I is equal to 0, I is less than ns dot size minus 1 I plus plus, right? Now what you will do, you will check that if answer of I is greater than equal to answer of I plus 1. So what does it mean? That you are considering any node here, that is let's say you are considering 15 here, right? So you are considering 15 here, and toward the left of this 15 is 11. So if 11 is, so if 11 is greater than or equal to 15, so you have to return false. Why? Because to the left of this 15 everything should be smaller, right? So this is the condition that we are using here. So what you will do, you will basically make your flag variable as false, and basically come out of the loop, right? So we are checking for every node here, right? And at the end you will check, so basically you will return a flag here. If it is true, so it will return true, or it will be return false. So again, let's try to submit this out. So you can see here our solution has been accepted, and it's betting 100% of the solution. So in the previous error, what we saw that we don't have to consider the equal elements, right? We have to check for strictly greater or strictly smaller. So that's why we were getting a wrong answer. So now let's move to the next approach of solving this problem. So now in this next approach, we are not going to use any in order traversal. So basically it's increasing the your time complexity, right? So what we are going to do here is that let's absorb something, that we know that everything in the left should be smaller and everything to the right should be greater, right? Now, let's take an example here. Uh, let's let's make it 20 here, right? So that I can explain you better. So let's say you know that everything is perfect in this left subtree. So let's come to the right. Now you saw that 29 should be greater than 25, right? So it's true. Now when we come to the left of this 29, we saw that 20 is smaller than 29. So it's this condition is satisfying for this subtree, but this the same condition is not satisfying for this bigger subtree. Why? Because we saw that everything should be, but we know that everything should be greater than 25 to the right of it. So you can see here 20 is not greater than 25. So this case is not satisfying the condition. But it is true for this subtree, smaller subtree, but not true for this bigger subtree. So to counter this problem, we will use approach of range, right? So we will define a range for each node. Let's say for 20 here, for 20 to satisfy this condition, 20 should be in a range of 25 to 29, which means that 25 20, the node whatever the value will come here should be greater than 25 and lesser than 29. Similar for this 15 also, uh, this 15 should be greater than 10, right? But smaller than 25. So let's write it here. 15, for 15 it should be greater than 10 but smaller than 25. So for each node we can provide this range, right? So this is the approach of solving this problem so this is the another approach for solving this problem. So let's see how we will solve this out. So let's first give a range for this root node as minus, let's call it as int min, right? Int min. And max range is as int max, right? So because there is no node above it, right? That's why we considered it as int min. So basically root node should be greater than int min and should be less than int max, right? Now when you came to the left of this 25, we will call a recursive call here. When you came to 10, so what will be the condition for this 10? So the 10 should be lesser than this 25, right? So it should be lesser than 25. So basically and greater than int min. So it should be greater than int min but lesser than 25, right? So this will be the condition. Again you come to the left of this node 10. So what will be the condition for this node 5? It should be greater than int min but lesser than node 10, right? So similar condition will hold for this 15 also. Let's say 15 for when you will come to right of 10. So 15, for 15 it should be greater than 10 but lesser than what? Int max, right? No, I'm sorry. There should not be int max. It should be 25 because every node to the right of the left of this 25 should be lesser than, right? So this condition is important here. It should be greater than 10 but lesser than 25, right? So again, when you will come to this 11, the condition will be that it should be lesser than 15, and since it is right of 10, so it should be greater than 10, right? So lesser than 15, so it's greater than 10 and lesser than 15. So this is the condition for this, right? So if these conditions are not satisfied by any of this node, so you will basically return false here, right? So let's change the value of it. That is, what was the initial value of here? It should be lesser than 29. So let's call it as 28, right? So now you can see here, this will return true again. This will also return true here. This will also return true here, that it is in this range, right? 11 is also in this range. So it will return true. It will also return true. So you will take the combination of this, that both of these true, then it will return 10 will return true, right? Again you notice that here the conditions are satisfying, so it will again return true here. And we will check that to the left and right both are true, so this 25 root node will also return true. If any of the condition is returning false, let's say it's returning false here, so you will check that either of these one is false, so it will return false, right? So this is the second approach, and so let's try to solve this question or code this out. So let's uh, create a new function to check this out. Let's call it as normal solve function, right? So in this solve function, what you will pass? First of all, you will pass root. then what you will pass, you will pass long min, and again you will pass long max here, right? Now let's create this function solve. Basically, let's create this L min, and let's call it as L max, right? So now, if your root is equal to null, so what you will do, you will basically return true, right? Otherwise, if your root dot value, if your root value is greater than equal to, let's say, long max, or your root value is less than equal to long min, so what you will return, you will basically return false here. So basically, again, you will call for a root left and a root right, right? And you will basically check whether both are true or any of one are false. So basically, you can use a single statement here. Solve. You call it for root left, right? Root left. Now, when you are going to root left, right? So your minimum, when you came here to the root left, so what was your minimum value? Your minimum value was the int min only, and your maximum become the previous node. So you can see here 25 become its maximum. Again, when you go left from 29, your minimum become what? Your minimum become 25, and your maximum become 29, right? So you will have to change your min max here. So here your minimum value will be long min, right? And your maximum, what will become? Your maximum become what? Root value, right? Previous root value. And basically you will give your check for that whether both are true or false, right? So again you call it for root right, and your what the minimum value will become the max here, that is, sorry, your minimum value will become previous root val, right? And your maximum value will become long max. So you can see here for 29 the minimum value become 25 and maximum is the int max, right? So this is the solution of this from the second approach. So let's try to run this out. Okay, we have to give here the data type long main, long max, right? So you can see here our public test cases are passing. So let's try to submit this out. So you can see again our solution is beating 100% of the solutions, right? So this was the second approach for solving this problem. And the difference between in the previous solution and this solution is that we are not using any data structure for storing our values. So the space complexity for this solution is O of 1, right? And time complexity is big O of n. Because since you can say that we are actually using a recursion to solve this problem, so the actual space complexity, or you can say that it's using the space, right? But that is auxiliary space, so we do not consider this out in our solution. So I hope you have understood both of this approach for solving this problem. So let's meet in the next video. Till then, have a nice day.